Good afternoon. Welcome to Face to Face with Gerald and Regina, where we give a different perspective on real life issues with transparency. Good afternoon, everyone, here in Dallas, Texas. It is beautiful outside. Yes.
It's nice outside.
Oh, wow. Welcome again. We have a great topic that we are going to delve right into. Delve right into.
Yeah, delve.
How
do you delve? How do you delve?
That we are going to discuss. It is dealing with issues in a blended family. And before we go into that, we are
yeah, what she said.
If you would like to get in contact with us, please DM us on our face-to-face page on our Facebook. Also, if you need more exposure, let us help you. Please email Gerald at glperson76@gmail.com. If you would like a topic to discuss, just reach out to us on our Facebook page or the email. Or if you want us to promote your business, we are more than happy to do so. Again, DM us on, or just message us. I don't know why they say DM.
Yeah,
just message us on Facebook.
I don't know what DM means.
It goes down in the DM.
Yeah, it goes down in the DM. It goes down in the DM.
It goes down in the DM.
Yeah, sometimes it do. Crazy.
Yeah. So just message us on Facebook, or again, just email us at glperson76@gmail.com, and we'll be happy to give you some exposure with your business or even a topic. And so now we are ready for our topic, again, dealing with issues in a blended family.
That's right.
And this is a great topic.
Mm-hmm.
Great
real
topic.
Good. It's real
good topic. Of course, I always do my little homework. I was Googling some stuff, and 40% of families are blended.
Wow.
40%. And then they have statistics from 2019. I got statistics from 2022 because they don't have it available for 2023.
Okay.
So 40% of families are blended. And blended, I'm going to define blended.
Yeah.
Blended family is when you have one biological parent that have kids from a previous relationship, and they actually cohabitate or marry. Some people live together with the other partner, or they get married to the spouse, and they also have children. Yeah. So it's like the biological parent has a child or children, and then the person that your significant other or the person that you're married, they have children. So that it creates a blended family, and we're not talking about them living. Well, they can be living apart with the biological parent, but I'm talking about just blending in with them. So we're going to talk about it, and I'm going to let you go first.
Yeah, I mean, and that's like before the show, we was talking about, having a blended family. Sometimes it gets a little hard sometimes. It gets a little hard sometimes. You definitely have to have thick skin. Because, and by all means necessary, no disrespect to anybody, because sometimes children or either individuals, so to speak, their frame of mind is, well, my mom or either my dad, we did it like this before you came. Mm-hmm. We did it like this before you came, so that's what we're used to. Yeah. So when we come to your house or when we come to their house, we're going to continue to do it this way. But when you become married to someone, it's certain things that when the children come to the house, they just cannot do. And it's not so to speak. How can I say it? Because I don't want to be disrespectful towards anybody or be pointing a finger or poking, whatever, however you want to call it. But it's certain things that it comes a point where it starts to be disrespectful.
Yes.
It starts to be disrespectful. And I mean, and the way that I see it, if it's going to cause grief, if it's going to cause, if it's going to because it's going to cause havoc in the household, there comes a time where like, okay, you stand back. You stand back. Not only that, if the children or the adults, so to speak, if they're old enough, then yeah, you sit down and have a talk with them, or else dad, you sit down and have a talk with them, because at the end of the day, everybody wants to be respected. Everybody wants to be respected. Everybody wants to be loved on. Everybody wants to be respected. But at the same time, if I come to your house, Regina, I already know off the top, I can't just be going in the ice box and just getting, I can't just be walking around the house in my underwear. I'm just saying that. I'm just keeping it real.
You are correct.
He said, Regina said, you bet not.
You doggone
But I'm just
Skippy.
saying. So I mean, it's so that means that when you go to somebody's house, you have to be able to how you want to call it, apply, and go by their rules. Now sometimes the way I grew up, you can't go by them people's rules. You don't need to go over there. Go ahead.
Well, oh my gosh! So this right here is a loaded topic.
Yes, it hit home, and it's some of it I did not say.
Yeah, and I know you're gonna say it too.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about 5 different things. We're gonna talk about the different traditions that some of the children and families come from. Too many changes at one time could be unsettling for children.
Yeah.
Sibling rivalry. Rivalry. And then compromising with the parent discipline style, and then managing the age difference. Now, what I always normally do is I use myself as an example, and I thank God for the experiences that that I've gone through in just life, period. But when I was married for about 10 years. I had, this is before Ricky, I had 2 kids. Met my then husband at the time, Ricky, and he had 3 kids, but they didn't stay with him. They stayed in Houston with his ex-wife. Yeah. So I know it came a time where there were some issues, and his ex-wife was like, can 2 of them stay? The youngest 2, and it to me was a no-brainer. I didn't push back. I was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
But you said yeah to all that other stuff.
Yeah, the other stuff. And at the time, I just had Ricky. I think he was a newborn, and we had teenagers.
Okay.
We had 4 teenagers in the house. So with that came before they came financially, which wasn't a problem, we had to get a bigger house.
Yeah.
So sometimes there's finances involved when you have a blended family. So you don't have a problem with that. I think with mine's is kind of different, was because my ex-husband, he was up and down with his kids.
Yeah.
And that's another, I won't go into that. So, didn't know that in the beginning, but he was in and out of their lives. So that was going to be different for him.
Yeah.
Let alone me, who's new and they don't even know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and then the teenagers, one thing about my kids was they welcome my ex-husband with open arms. They called him dad immediately, and he didn't have a problem. I didn't have a problem.
Yeah.
So financially, we prepared for them. What we didn't prepare for was just having more teenagers in the house. And
that's a lot.
I thank God for them now, even though that I'm divorced. We still have a great relationship. Now we do. And I always tell people, it's Ricky's, they always say half brother and sister, but that's his brothers and sisters. Yeah. I'm like, we're going to be family for life. Yeah. Regardless. So with that, there were some issues. It's not so much discipline, I guess, because they were getting to know their dad on top of getting to know me.
Yeah.
So if there is any issues, I would speak to my, my ex-husband at the time, and then he would address it. And that's one thing that I do want to say to those that are in blended families. If there's an issue, because I've seen it where the non-biological parent, they will address it, and everybody's different. This is just my opinion. They'll address it with the child instead of addressing it with the biological parent. So if there was any issues, which it wasn't a lot, we would talk behind closed doors and, hey, can you make sure we, and then he would, So I think it is a big difference when they're coming in. My supervisor, he took in his stepson at 3 months, 3 months old. He took in his stepson. So of course it's not going to be an issue. I believe the biological dad was involved, but he was there at the home. So he raised him as his son. So I do believe in blended families. Age does. The age do matter. Yeah, it because does. When they're under a certain age, they're fine. But when they get to teenagers, they're gonna be more vocal.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
They're gonna be more vocal. Sometimes when they're in their 20s, they're very vocal. They're very vocal because they're used to mom doing it this way, or they're used to dad doing it this way, and then you got somebody else that they don't know coming in, trying to make corrections or saying what they don't like and what they did, and they be like, who are you? Who are you? And how can you say, and all that type of stuff. And and just to kind of, open up a little bit more, that's actually something I dealt with. That's actually something that I dealt with, and it was basically like, it was basically, how can I say it? And this is actually something new for me, because I don't really open up about my personal life, because I'm very, very, very private.
I'm
very private when it comes to my personal life. Ministry, I put it out there for everybody, but my personal life, I keep that to myself. But that's actually something that I dealt with. Me and Vernetta, with her kids now, and with my kids, because I have 2 girls and she has 2 girls.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So now my oldest daughter, she loves Vernetta. Now I said, here's the thing. Now here's the thing. Let me open up and let me go a little bit further. Now my youngest daughter don't want to have nothing to do with Vernetta. That's a whole nother show. That's a whole nother show. Do I like it like that? Does it hurt me? It does. It does. But at the same time, it's nothing that I can really do about it. The only thing I can do is pray and continue to reach out to my daughter. That's all I can continue to do, is continue to pray and reach out to my daughter and let her know how much I love her, and let her know how much I care about what she has going on, and let her know that how much concerned I am about her school, her college, all that type of stuff, and be a dad as much as I possibly can be.
Yes.
But I said, but the flip side with Vernetta's kids, it was basically like, my mom this and my mom is this, my mom is that. But I said, but at the same time, I sat back and I saw it. Did it frustrate me? Did it bother me?
Yeah.
It did. But I said, but at the same time, it was a lot of that. I had to really tame myself. I really had to tame myself, tame my attitude. Again, did it bother me? It did. Yeah. But it was to a point, because of me and the relationship that me and Vernetta we get along so well. We actually sit down and we talked about it. And she explained to me that, well, this is why they do these things. This is why they do these things. This is why they react when they hear somebody say these things. Or this is why they feel as if it's okay for them to do these things. And, and quite a bit of it, I'm like, okay, well, I understand. I understand. But, being in a blended, having to deal with blended families, or just dating somebody or marrying somebody that has kids, it's kind of hard.
It is.
It's kind of hard because, everybody has their way of thinking. And do I expect them to call me dad? No, I don't. And do they call me dad? No. They don't. And guess what? It don't bother me, because I don't care, because I have bigger fish to fry. I don't care if you call me dad or not. Just don't be disrespectful.
And
Just don't be disrespectful.
and
Exactly.
I like how you said that because I think with some blended families, they are so adamant. And I'm like, you need to call me stepmom or call. And I'm like, you have to. What I tried to do was kind of look at things at their perspective because there were certain things that happened. I was a little offended, but then I was like, okay, I have to look at it from their perspective. They were,
Yeah.
they're trying to get to know their dad. Then there's a newborn. They got a baby brother. They didn't have a problem with him.
Yeah, exactly.
And then there was issues that they were going through. And I'm a big person on education. So I made sure when they're going into school district, I made sure that we got to know their teachers. If this going on, could you please say so? We were on it.
Yeah.
Very on it.
Yeah.
So one thing that like I said, my kids didn't have a problem. I know in the beginning they did. And my thing was, you don't have to call me mom. Just call me Miss Regina.
Yeah.
And not be disrespectful with it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that I understood. To me, I'm like you. I had bigger fish to fry.
Like, man, I don't care.
I'm trying
You don't
I'm
have to
trying
do
to
that.
deal with these different personalities.
Exactly.
Now, my son and daughter, they were. I mean, it was almost like before they lived with us, they would always come down and visit.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, we're vibing. Okay, so even with them coming into the household, it was just more personalities that were added.
Yeah.
And then feisty,
Oh,
sassy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, all of that.
All of that.
Yeah, all of that.
And
yeah.
even with that, my mind frame was, okay, they're coming from, his that household. Their traditions are different. Their disciplining system is different. My ex-husband was used to beating. But until like that, well, somebody. Yeah, and then with some kids nowadays, like with my kids, I let them have a voice. Some people may look at that as being disrespectful or talking
Exactly.
back,
Yeah.
but it's like no,
But
they
it's
have
not.
a voice.
They have a voice. Let them talk.
So-
As long as you don't be disrespectful, go for it. Say what you
So
need to say.
I know with Robin, that was the youngest one. She was
Yeah.
very vocal. But I know, a couple of things happened. But again, if there was an issue, I never approached him with it. I would always say something to him.
Yeah.
And I remember the one time something happened at school, and I did speak with one of the youngest ones about an issue, and that was basically it. But other than that, I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, it's just blended families. It's just a hard thing. I mean, you
Yeah.
think
It don't have to be.
it doesn't have to be hard, but I mean, it's literally been times where that I've had to not say anything to keep the peace.
You're almost like you're compromising some
Exactly.
stuff.
Well, you know what? Being married to somebody, you will compromise.
You have to, yeah.
You will compromise.
Yeah.
Being married to somebody in a relationship, you're being married to somebody, you're in a relationship with somebody, you are going to compromise, especially if you want to keep the peace. Because I mean, especially if you want to keep the peace, and it's a lot of times because of the way that I am, the way that my character is. I'm always by myself. If I'm not doing a podcast show, typically I'm kind of quiet. I don't really do all the hanging out and stuff like that. I don't really just be
me
around a
too.
bunch of people. That's my character. That's my nature because who I'm called to be.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of times while they laughing and talking, I don't want to laugh and talk. But I said, but the thing about it is,
Oh, come on, Gerald.
but but the thing about it is, guess what? When Vernetta, she's around her girls, that's what they do. They just be laughing and
Females.
talking.
Oh, wow.
They just be laughing and talking, just going for it. But at the same time, that's my character. I like to laugh and talk, but sometimes I'm like, hey, y'all be quiet. But at the same time, we're like, nah, you go in the other room.
Yeah, I was about to say, you going down the room. It's just you. I'm with
Exactly.
Renetta.
He said, "No, you go in the other room. You want to talk." But it's like you were saying. Even with my kids, like Kayla, she don't when she call Vernetta, she just say Vernetta. Sometimes she'll call Vernetta before she call me. She'll send Vernetta a text message before she called me. Now, at first, that bothered me. But I said, and I had to learn though. I had to learn. I had to learn. I was like, okay, these are two women. All right, Gerald, be quiet and just let them have that. Just let them have that. That ain't saying that she don't love you. That ain't saying that she don't feel like.
Let her have a relationship,
Exactly.
Vernetta, too.
Let her have a relationship with Vernetta. So guess what? I had to learn. I had to learn to. Yeah, I said, Vernetta, she on there. But I had to learn. Listen, Gerald, be quiet. Don't say nothing. Leave that alone before you mess something up.
Yeah.
That's a good thing that you got going on. Let them have that. And I mean, I'm serious. It was a lot of times that I literally just wanted to interrupt that and say, hey, what you doing? You my daughter. Why you don't call and text me? Why you didn't text me and say, hey, good morning to me? Why you didn't ask me to go to lunch? Why you didn't say, hey, what you doing? What I'm doing this weekend? Why you didn't say? I'm serious. It was a lot of times I wanted to do that, but guess what? I didn't. But I said, I'm gonna tell you what happened. Then it's probably off subject. I'm gonna tell you what happened. At the end, I won anyway. I won anyway because when Kayla met Vernetta, me and Kayla, we was kind of shaky on the rocks too, because I said because of my last divorce and lies that was said about me, and now I said now my youngest daughter, she a little different. She a little different. She still believe it. Kayla, she don't. She found out it was all a lie. But with that being said, the relationship that her and Vernetta has is just like a mother and daughter relationship. Kayla called her and get advice from her. Kayla call and say, well, what you think about this? I'm finna go to this job interview. What you think about this? I talked to this guy and he did this. And I'm saying, and I'm still saying to myself, I'm your daddy. Why you didn't ask me? Why you didn't ask me about the little nappy-headed boy? But see, I said, but guess what? That's why she don't ask me, because I said what I said, little nappy-headed boy.
Yeah, I was so harsh, girl.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I said, but those are the things that you have to deal with when it comes to a blended family.
Yeah.
You'll have kids that'll draw to the other one more than they draw to the other one sometimes.
Yeah.
Or sometimes they just won't draw to you. It'll be high and by, and that's it.
That's it.
But I said, you have to take that and be like, all right, cool. At least you saying hi. At least you saying bye. At least you just not coming into my presence, just not acknowledging me, period. Or you coming into my house and just being disrespectful. You know what I mean? So it took me some time to get there, but it took me some time to get there. But in the process, it was hard.
Yeah,
it was very, very, very hard. It was a lot of times I had to pray and not say nothing.
Yeah,
and just let God do it.
Yeah, and you know what? And then I was thinking also, you really don't know, like, with his ex-wife, I thought I know that they went through a lot. She was already in a relationship. So I thought she was cool. I didn't have nothing against her. And I know sometimes with blended families, you really don't know what the other, and I'm not even saying in my case, I'm just saying in general, you really don't know what the other parent is saying to that child before they go into the situation to live with their mom or dad. So there's a lot of preconceived notions as you're coming into the household, and it could be false.
It could be.
So I know with that, I was like, well, I just know that I had to take a back seat. I was like, okay, these are his kids. Yeah. They don't know me.
Been there.
Yeah. And them and their dad's relationship was kind of rocky, and I was getting on him. I'm like, why was you in their life? I mean, I was like, dude, so.
You don't have to take that, man. Stop letting them do that. You don't have to do that,
So, and it was some of that where because he felt guilty because he wasn't there, he allowed them to do, to kind of go overboard. And, during our time alone, I'm like, hey, you can't let that slide. I understand that you wasn't there for them, but you still have to put your foot down. You're still their dad. Things happen, so again, with blended families, we don't know what the other side of the family is saying, but we still have to maintain. And to me, it is kind of like a compromise. There are a lot of times I did want to say something, and then I felt led to just not say anything and just I'm like, okay, those are his kids, and I'm gonna let him do what he needs to do. And if I do have to say something again behind closed doors, you'll never address anything in front
you never
of
do that.
None of the kids.
Because sometimes you'll wind up embarrassing yourself.
Exactly.
And it may not even be like what you think
it is. Exactly.
And it's not even that. It's not even close to what you think it is.
Exactly.
And you say something, then you wind up making yourself look stupid.
Exactly.
Well, now I ain't gonna say stupid, but you wind up making yourself look silly. And then I said, these kids nowadays be like, hey, really? You didn't even have to say that. You didn't have to say that. That's like, Daddy, can you go talk to her? Or either, Mama, can you go talk to him? You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's just you just have to have thick skin when it comes to dealing with somebody else's kids.
Exactly.
You just have to. You have to have thick skin, and you have to be willing to do whatever it is to keep the peace. Say what you need to say, but then after that, leave it alone and trust and know that they're going to take care of it. And trust and know that they're going to take care of it. By the way, the phone lines are open, y'all.
Yes.
If y'all want to call in.
That's what's up.
If y'all want to call in, the phone lines are open at any time. Y'all can call in, make a whatever. Y'all want to talk about what y'all just said, y'all thoughts. What we just said, I meant to say, y'all thoughts on what we're talking about, or y'all want to add something to it, you can.
All right, 469-708-8609. Again, 469-708-8609. If you want to chime in on this subject, 40%. Statistically, blended family. So I know some of y'all up in that chat room, y'all.
That's what Vernetta said and stuff like that. Sometimes that can set a person back. You know, I'm just kind of adding to what she said, but it'll set you back mentally. It'll set you back mentally, and it'll have you thinking like, is this what I'm finna have to deal with for the rest of my life for the next few years? You're like, no, that's okay.
Yeah,
but
it can.
And it can. But at the same time, you gotta have thick skin
and not communicate.
You got to.
I like what you said because I think, I mean, it needs to be said more. I mean, communication. Vernetta sat down and talked to you and let you know this is why they react. This is the trigger. This is the reason why they're saying this. I don't think that conversation is being had. It's just, oh, they don't like me. I don't want them here. And no, there were times where I was like, ooh. I was like, ooh, Lord.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay. But it never got to the point where I felt, well, I don't want them here because it's like, I do want you here. We have other kids. And there was no sibling rivalry. No. I mean, they all got along. That was the great thing about it. They all got along. So, but it is key. Communication is key between the biological parent and then the other, the significant other, where you have to have that conversation. You have to. And then actually hear the other person out.
You have to, because
don't get so offended, even if they don't like your kids. Don't
get so offended, because like you said, like you and I just said, sometimes you be forming stuff in your mind that ain't even going on.
Yes,
it ain't even going on. You just made that up. And quit. I say, and I'll be like, all right, Gerald. I'm serious. I have to tell myself, all right, Gerald, just chill out. Chill out, Gerald. Chill out, because that's probably not even going on. If it is going on, it ain't even nothing worth you bringing it up. It ain't even nothing worth you saying something about it. Just leave it alone, man. It's gonna blow over. It's gonna blow over. And the thing about it is, with me and Vernetta, it's a lot of times she can see my facial expressions. She can see my facial expression, or she can feel my vibe. And sometimes I say, hey, I need to talk to you. And guess what? Sometimes I'll never get to the point where I say anything. But by the time I get to the point where I'm ready to talk to her,
everything is resolved.
And she done pretty much picked up on it, and she done straightened it out. Or either it may not even be a blended family issue. It could be anything. It'll sometimes it'll be that way with me. She'll say, hey, we need to let me see what she say. She said something about,
it all depends on the age of kids too. That's why
it does.
And I did mention that
too. And it does. And see her daughter.
When they're younger, there's more room. They're more impressionable. When they get to teenagers, because they're teenagers or adults,
exactly,
very vocal and
very vocal. And I say, and the thing about it is, with her and her daughters, both of her daughters are in the corporate world. They are in the corporate world, so sometimes they talk for a living. They talk for a living, and they have to be in a professional atmosphere.
They have to be more assertive because they're black women.
They're black women, and Vernetta, her and her kids, they like that. They two peas in a pod. They stick. I promise you, all three of them, they stick together. They stick together, and if they all three of them lived in the same city, they probably would see each other every day.
Yeah.
But I said, but at the same time, I would be wrong to try to come against that. That's wrong.
Exactly. Yeah.
You wrong if you try to come against that and try to, part ways with that. You can't do that. That's wrong.
Yeah.
That's wrong. No, what you need to do is go sit your happy hips down and learn how to deal with that.
Not the hips.
Happy hips. Go sit them happy hips down, and you just need to try to learn how to deal with that.
Yeah.
In the meanwhile, is it going to be hard? Yes, it's going to be hard. But her daughters, they're both over 20-some years old, and they are in the corporate world. So her daughters, they're very verbal. They're very verbal. They say stuff that, that adults they say. And in my mind, I'm like, you're a kid. No, they're not. They're not kids. They're grown women.
They're grown women, yeah.
They are grown women. And I had to learn to treat them as such. And so, I'm using myself, y'all, for, this show, because I very rarely like put myself out there or anything like that, let people get in my business, because I'm very, very, very private. But
well, same here. I mean, there are sometimes we have to be transparent because people I think people, they look at me and they're like, oh, she's mysterious. I don't know anything about her. Well, you want to find out?
You probably not.
Come on the podcast show.
Yeah, come on the podcast show.
Because then I'll divulge some stuff.
Yeah.
But this is some good stuff we're talking about, dealing with issues in a blended family. One thing I did want to say was too many changes at one time can be unsettling, especially when they're maybe younger and maybe even teenagers. If you're coming into a household where they already have their own set of rules and they have their own thing going on, I believe that it should be what's the word I'm looking for? That it should be, if you have other kids coming into your household, you should kind of bend some of the rules or trying to get to know the other kids to see how, because like I said, from other families, there's different discipline styles.
That's what I was trying to say earlier.
Maybe at your home, you didn't do chores, you didn't make your bed. In my house, you gonna make your bed. Okay, so
my house, you gonna clean up.
You gonna do the dishes.
You're not finna eat this right here and then set this bowl over here and then walk off and
we ain't gonna do that here.
No.
So to me, it's just it's not even so much compromising. It's just letting them know up front. And to me, it's up to the biological parent. Hey, if you're coming here, this is what to expect.
Yeah.
And then also being the significant other, just realizing, okay, again, they're coming from another household. Their traditions may be different. They may not go to church.
Exactly. Their traditions might be different. Their way of speaking.
Their way of speaking, yes.
It might be different.
It may be different.
Yeah.
So you do have to compromise, and you have to just leave the room, door open up just for, just to make them feel welcomed.
And you know what? Some people will quickly say that, we probably gonna do a part 2 of this show.
This is my house. I'll do what I want to.
I do what I want to do. I ain't got to compromise nothing. Well, that's why you gonna always go to bed frustrated. You gonna always go to bed mad.
Tossing and turning.
You always tossing and turning.
Falling off the bed.
Falling off the bed, or feel like you done been in a fight in your sleep. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, man,
they're kids.
They kids, man. Times is hard. Learn how to get along with each other. Learn how to get along with each other. And some of this stuff you got to realize. And this is how I live my life, Regina. If I can't control it, I'm probably not going to worry about it.
Yeah.
If I cannot control it, I'm probably not going to worry about it. If I have to put too much thought into it, if I have to think about it too much just to get myself ready, chances are I'm probably not gonna deal with it too much. You know what I mean? Because I mean, I'm just, it's just my chain, it's just some stuff. I'm just wired a little different. And I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, her kids are grown. My kids are grown. So I mean, as long as everybody's keeping the peace, everybody's disrespectful, everybody's hee-heeing and ha-haing and laughing, that's cool.
Yeah,
no problem. That's cool, no problem. So my thing is, and I mean, you gotta find that point in place where it works for you. And I had to do that. I had to do that.
You had to find a middle ground.
I had to, especially if I want to be with Vernetta. I had to do that. I had to do that because I'm like, nah, ain't no other way around this. And I know I know, like, well, no, I can't say that because I can't say that because we got a bunch of church folks watching us, and they be like, yeah,
say I feel with the Holy Ghost.
It's like the prophet said that, but no, but I'll say, but I just, and I'd be, I can say that I'd be crazy to think. I'd be crazy to think that Vernetta finna disown her kids. Boy, please, whatever. You done lost your mind. You done lost
Deuces.
your mind. I holler at you later.
Yeah.
I see you later. Not them. You. I see you later.
Yeah.
Because they going to always be there and they going to always be around. Mm-hmm. So again, I mean, my thing is being in a blended family is hard, but it's definitely doable.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's definitely doable. It's definitely be doable. It's definitely doable. You have to work at it. You have to communicate. You have to talk. You have to sit down and try to get to know one another, what they like and what they don't like, and just know that some of that stuff, man, you can't control that.
Yeah,
that's just how they are. You can't stop that. That's how they are. That's their personality. And I'm like, it ain't hurting you, whatever.
And you know what? And if you in a household where both of the parents pray, prayer will help.
It will.
Coming together and praying will help. We don't want to leave that out, you know. And this comes in with the traditions. You don't know what kind of background if they went to church, and I believe when they came, they didn't go to church a lot. I know we went to church, so they didn't have a problem with it. So that was one of the requirements that we had. You know, we all went to church together, and we all praised God together. So I really enjoyed our times with us. And even now, it's been like 9 years since I've been divorced. Just 2 or 3 weeks ago, the oldest daughter, she turned 36. Ricky is 16, and go figure. We went down to Houston to surprise her, and she was very surprised. And we still have a relationship. It was me, it was his ex-wife and her husband and his girlfriend there. And when people hear that, they're like, no. We all had a good time. Yeah. I mean, we're all grown adults. Why are we going to be in our...
They don't make you feel no type of way, Regina? Like,
no, it doesn't at all. I'm actually happy for him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like this. I'm actually...
You got it, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, but even with that, I was telling my son, I said, that's going to be family for life.
Yeah.
I mean... For life.
You can't change that.
I mean, even though we're not together, and I just enjoy their company. They ended up coming up here for my ex-mother-in-law. She 80, and same thing. His ex-wife and husband, and then his girlfriend, and that was the first time he introduced me, and I was like, "Hi, how you doing?" And I know she was like, "Huh?" So life is too short. Why am I going to be upset?
Yeah.
Why is no one should be upset as long as the kids are great and we all had a good time. And people always ask me, isn't that funny? No, y'all like drama. I like peace.
Peace.
I be praying for peace. I don't like
peace.
Peace.
And I'm not going to let you stop mine.
So, we had a great time. Like I said, family for life. And I just thank God that even when they left, because they stayed for about a year with us, we still, of course, he stayed in contact with them. Of course, so did I. Even with us being divorced, still stayed in contact with them. And I think that's why we have a good relationship now. Yeah. Have everything has it always been like that? No.
Yeah.
You know, we had our ups and downs, but I just thank God for them. Like, we're good.
Yeah.
And when I say I'm so happy, it feels so good when you do it God's way and you listen, when you heed to his voice and you do it his way and you don't harbor any. Okay.
What? You don't have no junk in your heart. You don't have no
heart. No nothing. So when we get around each other, so now some people may get offended. Oh, well.
Sorry.
You know, I'm like, that's family for life.
It is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, I'm serious. It's just, it's just, I don't know no other way of putting it. Yeah. I don't know no other way of putting it. Cause I mean, it's just not easy. It's just not easy. Sometimes, what did Vernetta say? She says, it depends on how hard it is for the individual. You're right, Vernetta.
Yeah,
You're right.
It don't always have to be hard. It depends on. That's what I was saying for the people. It doesn't have to.
But guess what? with that being said, I'm not ashamed to say it, but she had to teach me that.
Mm-hmm.
She had to teach me that. And listen here, for the fellas that's watching it, I'm gonna tell y'all something. If you say you a hard headed mule, if you won't let your woman teach you nothing, yeah, I said it. You a hard headed mule. You stubborn. You stubborn if you won't let your woman teach you nothing. All right, let me leave that alone.
That was a nugget, y'all. That was a nugget.
It sure was. For real now.
No,
for
serious.
real. But
For
I'm
real.
just saying, you know, it really depends on the individual. But guess what? Vernetta had to teach me that.
Mm-hmm.
She had to teach me that. She had to teach me, all right, just calm down. That's nothing. But I said, but with that being said, it was a lot of stuff looked at like Mars to me.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like Spanish and Chinese to me because of the way my family was.
Yes.
When I was growing up as a kid.
See.
Yeah, the way my family was like that. It was like that, and we didn't have any type of togetherness. We showed love and affection, but it was also in a different way. So therefore, a lot of that I see her and her kids do, her mother and, you know, her sister and stuff like that, it looked like Chinese to me. I don't know what's going on. I'd be like, why y'all doing that? Why y'all doing this? But I said, but sometimes I still just sit back and I don't say nothing. Because I'm sitting back, I'm like, okay. Man, they really love each other.
Yeah, and see, and I'm glad you said that, because I know with my parents,
she laughing.
I grew up with both of my parents in the household, so we did a lot of family-oriented stuff. Even now, if we get together, I think one of my daughter's friends came actually with us to Connecticut. No, she wasn't my daughter, and she was just floored, like how we did everything together. We did games together. We did charade. We did backgammon. We did spades. We did everything together. And then with my mom and dad, they were structured. Yeah, there was discipline, but then there was also structure. And it's like when I had CJ and Robin, when they came to stay with us, I'm like, I love family. Like, what do I look like telling him, no, I don't want them to come here, or even with them being there, the way my mom and dad, you know, raised us, just family is family, and you do what you can for family. And I just thank God, even like you said, communication. Like I said, we communicated. If something was wrong, we communicated, and like I said, it wasn't out in the open. And I like that when you're saying it may seem like Chinese to you, but it was something. Even though your family show love, but everybody is different.
Yeah, and it was just different. It was just like, I'm like, y'all really do this every Sunday? And I'm gonna tell you something that they do. And I'm gonna use myself again. They have a family call that they do every Sunday. They get on a call and they talk about Lord knows whatever. They talk about who bought shoes. Who got their
We
hair
used to
fixed,
do that group chat.
Who who got their nails fixed, or they talk about whatever.
That's good. Touching bases with that.
I've never had that. So sometimes, again, that's another thing. It looks like Mars to me, very unfamiliar. So that I was like, why y'all doing that? Y'all got to do that every time? We got to do this. And then I learned that was another thing. Man, just chill out.
Yeah.
Just chill out, man.
Yeah, because I'm about to tell you, just chill out.
Just chill out, man. Just chill out. Just let her have that. While she over there doing that, they give you a chance to do this over here. Because, I mean, when she ain't doing that, you got to be focused on her. So, I mean, you know.
Yeah, you actually didn't think that was going to stop, though.
I did.
No.
I did.
See, Vernetta,
I did.
No.
I did, but at the same time, again.
Like the
I
family
said,
gatherings in her, but that's something that they've always done.
That's something they've always done.
So she's not going to stop.
She's not going to stop. If anything, for me, exactly. If anything, she going to do it more because she want her family to know who I am. And guess what? And it was like I didn't quite understand that.
You know, you can get involved.
But now I do. Now I do, and once I got to know them, I realized they respect me. I realized they love me. I realized they admire me. I realized that they look up to me, and they look for me for answer. They ask me questions about certain things. I'm able to give them advice. They be like, I didn't think about that. It just I'm serious. It was hard for me, but I said, but Vernetta, she had to help me through this thing and help me to understand. You don't have to be like that. Yeah. I know you didn't grow up like that, but this is how I grew up. And this is how it's going to be. Yeah. If you want to be with me, we're going to be together.
That's how
this is what it's going to be. This is what it's going to be. I'm not going to change it. And I'm like, You not?
He's like, of course not.
You not? So it's all. You see what she say? It's all women to tell them, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they do. But I had to learn that. I had to learn that, some of this stuff, man, if you can't control it, man, leave that alone. Don't worry about that. Don't stress yourself out. You got other stuff to deal with. You got other stuff to worry about. You got other stuff to straighten out. You got other stuff to fix. You just do. Why don't you go sit down and read a book or something? Go sit down and write. Why don't you go sit down and write? You know what I'm saying? Go do something. Go look at some drag racing on YouTube, because that's what I like to do at night. Look at drag racing at night. But I mean, by the way, the phone lines are still open.
Yeah,
y'all.
it's still open. Please call in.
The phone lines are still open. If y'all want to call in,
Don't be
y'all
scared,
can.
y'all. Don't be scared,
See,
y'all.
we ain't talking about nothing that's dealing with y'all stuff. So y'all can't use that as the
We ain't talking about strongholds, even though this could be a stronghold.
Yeah, this could be. It could be. It could be. Also, if anybody out there, y'all listening, or if y'all go back to the replay, if y'all want to come on the show, you can. You can come on the show, hit us up in one of our inbox one of us, or else you got a topic you want to hear more about, or you got a topic you want us to go back to and talk more about it. Hit us up. Maybe hit us up. Maybe you got a business or something. Go ahead. What was you going to say?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Part 2. You mentioned part 2.
Yeah, if you got some part 2, you got a part 2 of one of the shows that you want us to go back and do. Let us do it. We'll do it. If you got a business or something like that, hit us up. We'll run a commercial for you.
Yes.
We'll run a commercial for you. And guess what? We ain't even going to charge you. We ain't even going to charge you. We just want to see you get out there and be great and be the best that you can possibly be.
Yes.
And then whatever we can do to try to help you with that, that's what we want to do. All right. You got something else?
Yes. And I just want to put this out here. Gerald's going to kill me. Them flyers that you see, he does the flyers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so I'm plugging him now. Mm-hmm. If you want flyers to be done, just DM. I'm saying DM. Just message us on Facebook, on Face to Face, or glperson76 at gmail.com, and you can speak with him about your flyer and a small donation,
or something like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna plug that. He does excellent flyers, you guys. He's trying to be really humble, but
I do them.
He does all the flyers. Excellent job.
To do nothing. If you want to come on the show, let me know. Let Miss Regina know. You want to come on the show? You want to talk about something?
Yes.
You want to shed more light on something and some stuff because I mean our platform is mostly like we talk about stuff that most people don't want to talk about.
Yeah.
Strongholds.
Yeah.
I'm saved, but I still beat my wife. No, we don't talk about that. No, we don't talk about that.
I still beat my wife. He ain't coming through the door. He or she, because you got some women beating the husband. You ain't making it to the door.
No, you ain't even making it to the door. But I mean, we talk about stuff that people really don't like to hear. Yes. People that just really don't like to talk about because it's gonna make it might if you're a pastor, sometimes it might make people stop giving tithes and offerings. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Okay, somebody calling in.
Yes. Hello.
Okay, somebody calling in. Praise the Lord. How are you?
Hey.
Good.
This is Apostle Dr. Angela Miles.
Hey. Hello. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. I was scrolling and I seen you guys. I said, "Wow, where have I been?" This is the first time I'm seeing your show. I like the setup. It's awesome.
Thank you
so much. She has a blended family as well.
And so you all said to call in. So I said, let me, I got time today.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got time today to call in. So I just want to encourage you all and tell you to continue doing what you're doing.
Yes.
I think it's just beautiful when
Thank you.
we could have a discussion and a conversation and to shed some light to bring illumination and revelation. So
of course,
I just am excited about it. And you guys talked about if we had a topic. I put on in the chat that I have a topic that I think is needful and necessary in this hour to discuss. So we'll get together and we'll be able to maybe have some dialogue about it.
Most definitely.
Yes,
we can do
definitely,
it.
Yes.
We can do it. Most definitely. We can do it, and we can definitely make it happen. Because I'm sure whatever it is, it needs to be talked about. If it's coming from you, and I definitely honor and definitely respect you. And I said, if it's coming from you, I can assure you it's something hot and it needs to be talked about. So I definitely always place honor and respect on you and my brother, Pastor Derek.
Well, thank you. And
Mm-hmm.
we're extremely so godly proud of you and what the Lord is doing in your life as
I
well.
accept.
And so I just want to stop by and say hello and
amen.
Hello.
I know that's right.
First time.
Thank you so
well,
much.
thank you so much.
This is my first time. You all be blessed.
All right,
You
God bless.
too.
Bye bye. She walks very heavy and annoying. Very, I tell you, she walks very heavy. So if she's saying that, it's it's pretty.
We need
heavy.
some healing and deliverance.
Yeah,
areas.
and that's the area. That's the area that she walks in the most.
Deliverance.
But deliverance. But we'll talk about it.
I came from a deliverance ministry, but yes, Lord.
So, but at the same time, I mean, even her, she's in a blended family.
Mm-hmm.
She's in a blended family. Her husband is his son. His son. He's almost and pretty much on his way to playing basketball professionally. But it's not her son. But at the same time, I mean, I'm sure it was some areas where she had to learn.
Mm-hmm.
She had to learn. Leave that alone. Don't say that. Don't even talk about that. Talk to him about it and let him deal with it.
Exactly.
Let him deal with it and trust and know that he did deal with it.
Yes.
So
I'm thankful that she called in. We are going into our business promos. I'm looking at the time. We got a few minutes.
Yep.
And we're going to go into our. Go ahead.
All right, there we have Burgerlicious.
Woo-hoo.
Listen, if you are in the Dallas Metroplex area and if you're looking for a real burger, I'm talking about a real burger. I'm not talking about one of the ones that you can pull out the box and just throw it on the grill and it sound like a penny when it hit the floor. No, we ain't talking about one of them. We talking about one of them where you actually doing it with your hand like this and pressing it down. That's what we do. And if you're in the Dallas Metroplex area, y'all stop by and see us. So if you want to call it in or go online and put your order in, or if you need something catered for your office, a big office party or anything like that, y'all let us help you. Let us help you. We would be glad to help you. All right.
All righty. And then next we have.
Oh yeah. So that's the conference that I'm getting ready to have here in Dallas, and I'm just gonna talk about the lineup just a little bit. I'll say it like this because I don't want to give y'all too many details. But if you can make it each night, it's gonna be 3 nights of glory. 3 nights of glory. If you can make it each night. But I can tell you which night I really want y'all to come on. But some of y'all might not. But the first night is going to be Prophet Anthony Lott, and I'm just going to say so on. Prophetess Zenobia Hill, Apostle Peggy Bridges, Prophet Kendall Thomas, Prophet Montreal Peters, and Apostle Cherie Dangerfield. And I'm here to tell you, listen, it's going to be so much anointing in the building. I'm here to tell you anything can happen. Anything can happen. If you need a miracle, you need deliverance, you need healing, you need just a fresh word from the Lord. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. It's not many times that you'll see platforms like this where everybody flows in the prophetic. It's not many times that you'll see this. And as years to come, we will do this again. And I believe on one of those other nights, I'll be speaking as well. So if y'all want to hear God do something, y'all want to see God do something, y'all want to see miracles be able to be performed, listen, on one of those nights, y'all need to be in the place.
Amen. And then the last one is A Father's Love, my book that I have coming out. It's called A Father's Love, and you can in the future it will be you can purchase it on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. The book launch will be announced. If you would like to purchase the book, it's $13. You can go to paypal.me /Author Whitaker, or I accept Cash App. It'll be $Fab Chickadee 51, or you just can email me at reginawhitaker42@yahoo.com. So please, sir, ma'am, purchase the book. It's called A Father's Love. You will enjoy it and you'll be blessed. Amen. I think that's it.
So maybe if I put my glasses on my nose,
I like this right, looking like me.
Yeah, like that. Now I look like that. A lot of times people don't get the chance to see me clown and stuff like that.
Goodbye, everyone.